Today's devotional is entitled, Don't Compare Yourself to Your Neighbor. In this day and age, we use metrics to determine how good things are, metrics for businesses based off of other businesses that offer the same services. And these metrics are good, they're bad. They tell you where you're positive, they tell you where you're negative. They just tell you how you compare to these other businesses. They basically show you where you're good, where you're lacking, or you're succeeding, and allows you an opportunity to better yourselves so they become obsolete. You know, this is good information to have when you're trying to better yourself. And from a worldly standpoint, yeah, this is great. You know, this gives you kind of great joy because you're able to better yourself. You're able to improve yourself, see yourself succeed in ways that you didn't think were possible. And at other times, this is discouraging as you see where you're lacking and suddenly you're comparing yourselves to someone else. Now, as a Christian, we're not to compare ourselves to others. Yes, we are to do the best we can to feel good with the job that we did at hand. We have no need to compare ourselves to others. Galatians 6:4 says, "Be sure to do what you should, for then you will enjoy the personal satisfaction of having done your work well. You won't need to compare yourself to anyone else, for we are each responsible for our own conduct." Paul said what we need to do, that when we do what we should, then we're going to be happy. But we don't need to compare ourselves to others. It's not our place to compare to others, as we're only responsible for ourselves. You see, people are going to make comparisons for any number of reasons, to point out flaws from other people so that they feel better, or simply for reassurances to make sure that they truly did the job well or good enough. It is not our place to compare ourselves to others, but to one person, Jesus Christ. Only Jesus is the person we can compare ourselves to. 2 Corinthians 10:12 says, "Oh, don't worry. I wouldn't dare say that I am wonderful as the other men who tell you how important they are, but they're only comparing themselves with each other and measuring themselves by themselves. What foolishness." When we compare ourselves to others, we might feel proud. Oh, I'm so much better than that person. I did a better job than them. We just compared them to our standard, not God's. If we flip the script, compare our actions against what God expects, we're going to fall short every single time. We have no place to be proud of our actions, and in no way any place to compare ourselves to others. Don't worry about what others do or how they do it or how successful they are in doing it. Your standard is God pleased with what I did? Galatians 1:10 says, "Obviously, I'm not trying to be a people pleaser. No, I'm trying to please God. If I were still trying to please people, I would not be Christ's servants." When we compare ourselves to others, we try to please people. We're not to compare ourselves to others. Are you seeing the common theme here, guys? We don't compare ourselves to our neighbors. So as you go to work, school, home, or just in public in general, wherever you go, don't compare yourselves to others. In all your actions, think about these questions here. How does your life measure up to what God wants? Am I doing what God wants me to do, or am I trying to compare myself to my neighbor for personal gain? If you're not chasing that first question, you're getting further away from what God wants you to do and what He has planned for you in your life. So guys, please don't compare yourselves to others. Like I said, the only one you can compare yourself to is Jesus. He lived the life that we are trying to chase after. We don't need to worry about what your friend or what your family or whatever they're doing, because you doing the best job that you possibly can, doing it for the Lord, it's going to be good enough. That is our devotional for today. Don't compare yourself to your neighbor.